I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I... Alright guys and gals, welcome to Jimmy Rips, your home of box breaks and hot takes. So, let's get to it. Olympics are underway and that is exciting for me. Right now, the last thing I watched was the USA Women's beat the snot out of Finland, and that was exciting to watch, and good on them. So what are we going to get into today? Today I'm going to gripe about Upper Deck releasing their 25-26 artifacts rookie redemptions. Then we're going to get into a Centennial box for the Detroit Red Wings, and I am super excited to get into that. I love the Century boxes, Centennial boxes. I've talked about this before in other videos, so please go back and watch those if you want to hear my opinion on what I love most about these Centennial boxes. And then we're going to go chirp at Brad Marchand, because why the hell not? So without further ado, let's get on with it.
Hot takes! Yo mama! Oh yeah.
Right, so the 25-26 Artifacts rookie redemption list has released. The number 1 and number 2 rookies in this lineup were surprise to nobody, as Matthew Schaefer took the number 1 spot and Michael Misa has number 2. But there was one glaring omission. I have a number of redemptions in I've already redeemed and waiting for those to come in, so I was pleasantly surprised to see that there were names attached to those, and as I was scrolling through the names, it felt pretty weird to see Oliver Kapanen as the rookie redemption representative for the Montreal Canadiens. If there is like one team out there that you could say never has a shortage of rookies to talk about, it would be the Montreal Canadiens. Throughout the last few years, they've pretty much taken the place, aside from, 24-25, even then they had Lane Hudson, but Macklin Celebrini largely overshadowed that when Series 2 came out. But then they were back in the news again when Series 1 came out with Ivan Demidov. So the fact that Oliver Kapanen is getting a rookie redemption, I think this was a big whiff. It has nothing to do with whether I think Oliver Kapanen is a good player or not. I actually personally hold on to his young guns and am currently getting a bunch of them graded, because I think in the next few years he will show himself to be worthy of a top billing for the 5-26 season. Problem is, he's already got a young guns, and I get that some teams that maybe don't have real rookies that came out after the Series 1 or some surprise rookie to put in there have to do somebody with the young guns. Not everybody on the list doesn't have a young guns already in Series 1. I feel like with Montreal, you had a wealth of people to get a picture of and put it on a card, and you had plenty of time to do it. There was Cam Fowler, you have Florian Xhekaj, and those two, I think people were really excited to see a rookie redemption card of. So when you get Oliver Kapanen, it feels like if you were looking for a Montreal Canadian you wanted people to get excited for and already had a young guns, there was always Ivan Demidov. But in my opinion, it felt like Ivan Demidov was a non-starter for Upper Deck, because they don't want to just give out too much value to people. Rookie redemptions, in my mind, feel like they should be something surprising. You're happy to get it because you're about to get the first run of a rookie that maybe doesn't have a card out yet, or you're guaranteeing yourself at least the top rookie for that team, and that's what makes it worth the wait. So when they put it in a redemption, you feel like the reason it's in a redemption is because they just don't have the card yet, and they want to get just something real good that you don't have a card for yet. And maybe that's true because it's artifacts. Maybe that's true because some of these guys didn't have cards in artifacts, but they do have rookie cards in general. So I just feel like with the brain trust at Upper Deck, they could have picked a better person than Oliver Kapanen. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way, because I had to check myself by going out and seeing any comments on the lists that I could find to see if maybe I was just alone in this. And there were quite a few other people that thought the Oliver Kapanen thing, while they like Oliver Kapanen, one of the more disappointing reveals that Upper Deck came out with. So it'll be interesting to see the card. I'm happy to get an Oliver Kapanen, but I was way more excited to see if I could get a Cam Fowler. Florian Xhekaj is still fairly new and newer at least, and probably doesn't have a lot of cards in production just yet, but I'm sure he'll be in Series 2. I didn't have a lot of high expectations for every team, so I'm sure there are some people that are holding on to redemptions for certain teams and looking at them and saying, I thought it was going to be somebody different. It wasn't. It's just, with Montreal, it just felt particularly egregious just because Montreal never really has a shortage of good rookies to put a redemption card in. But yeah, so that's just my take on the 25-26 rookie redemption list. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk next time. All right. Thanks.
Jimmy Whip's a new one? That's awesome, baby.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Don't stop believing, folks. It's finally here. The 100-year Centennial, that's what Centennial means, Red Wings tin. I've been looking forward to this. I got a couple of really good friends who are Detroit Red Wings fans, so I kind of live vicariously through them. And this is one of 3 Century tins that will be coming out this year. I've already done a video where I've opened up the Blackhawks one, and we had a lot of fun on that. Actually got a banger of a hit out of it with a Jeremy Roenick autograph. This time we have the Detroit Red Wings. Looking for some really exciting hits in here. Dasayuk, Gordie Howe, Dominic Hasek, because the guy's played for just about every team, it seems. Every time I grab a team, I always see a Dominic Hasek coming out of here. So if there's a Dominic, I haven't looked to see if there's a Dominic Hasek autograph, but if there is, that's my chase. That and Gordie Howe, anything short print Gordie Howe would be great. So we're gonna go ahead and open the Century box and have a little fun with it. In this box, the greatest part about this is you can collect, on average, that's their legalese for saying, maybe we'll screw you, maybe we won't, 2 autographs per tin. I've opened one of these earlier, like this week, because I had 2 of them and I couldn't wait to open one, so I just opened one with my kid. There's also some memorabilia, and there actually is an extensive list of autographs that are attainable, some more easier than others to get. So that's why I like it. For the price of about 130, which is roughly a Series 1 flagship box, where you're not really guaranteed to see an autograph for at all, I don't think. I think there's a few, but they're like such big hits. So having a Centennial tin here, promise 2 for the price of like 130 bucks is pretty great. So let's get into it. Super excited about this, and on top of that, you get yourself a really cool collector's tin. I have one already that I collect and keep for the Boston Bruins that I bought from last year. I have obviously the Blackhawks one I kept, and now I have a Red Wings. Rangers come out next, looking forward to that. And then I think the next set of Centennial tins that come out are released in 2067. So we got a good bit of time between these and the next ones. So here we are. Get 15 packs per tin. Again, really cool tin. All right, let's get to it. See what we can get. Again, we'll slow roll like we do with many new products. We'll slow roll the base so everybody can see kind of what the base and the parallels look like. And then either we're going to speed through, because this is such a shorter box, we might just speed through this one instead of just marking off the inserts and the highlights. So here's your basic card. Really nice, little old school Red Wings traditional looking thing. Nicholas Lindstrom, sorry, the caps on me coming out. And it's nice. They tell you the years that they played, and they're pretty good pictures. You got a Bruce McGregor. And then our first insert, Reed Larson in the captains from 1980 to 1982. You have team leaders, Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey himself. And then it looks like we have ourselves our first insert, Paul Coffey, Believing in South Detroit. Little throwback to Journey, which from what I understand, they play when they're leading in like the 3rd period. They will don't stop believing. Pretty cool. Believing in South Detroit. Detroit Red Wings, Curtis Smith. This is,
we got another one. Oh, cool. This is a... Okay. So this, I believe these gray ones are going to be century cards, I think they call them. And these are short printed to 1926. So short-ish printed. But they're out of 1926 to commemorate the year that the Red Wings started. Now, what's behind this is another Believin' In. You can see from here is another Believin' In, but it's red, which means it is a short print of Darren McCarty. So, full disclosure, I do not know 100% of the history of the Red Wings. This looks like an older head. There are some big names from the Red Wings that I remember, but if you look on the back, see, it's red, so it's a short print, which is great. You like seeing the short prints. You can see here, one of 1926 of the Cougars. That's what they call them, I'm sorry. The silver parallels of any base card or any card out there are Cougars, and they are numbered to 1926. Like I said, it's an homage to the year that they started. Then you got Ray Shepard on the base, and Brendan Shanahan on the base. Red Believin' In. Those are neat looking inserts. Nick Libet, Reed Larson, Paul Woods, Steve Yzerman as team leaders. And we have ourselves a Nick Libet captains and Martin Lapointe smash hits. This is another common insert that you will see in here. And then Pavel Datsyuk in the trophy winners for Lady Bing Trophy 2009. No pile for trophy winners yet. Mike Vernon and Kirk Moultrie on the base. These are a lot of fun for me, and I'm not even a huge Detroit Red Wings fan, so I can only imagine how great these cards are for huge fans. The bigger the fan, I'm sure the cooler these boxes are. I may buy more of these because I do have fun with this one in particular. Pius Suter, Henrik Zetterberg. All right, looks like we have Ted Lindsay on the Hall of Fame. Steve Yzerman on retired numbers. Ted Lindsay on the Hall of Fame, retired numbers. And then Hockeytown Heroes is another insert we haven't seen just yet. Marcel Dion. And then here's our Cougar parallel of the base for Johnny. Oh my God, I hate that I'm butchering this. Busiak, whatever. Oh, and we have a gold. Let's see what we got. Detroit Red Wings has to be an older head because, oh, it's the same. It's Johnny Busiak. I am apologizing profusely for butchering this guy's name. I know I am. I know he's a big deal. 99 of 100, so almost a bookend. But yeah, these are pretty nice. They are numbered to 100. You'll have to forgive me for not being the biggest Detroit Red Wings, but enjoying these, so, you know, deal with it. Tim Chevalde, Ray Whitney, and trophy winner Steve Yzerman. There's a lot of Steve Yzermans in this one. So this trophy is for the Conn Smythe Trophy. Hall of Famer Norm Ullman, and Hockey Hometown Heroes, Paul Coffey. One thing I do like about the Hometown Heroes is seeing just the old school skyline landscape of Detroit. I think that's always nice too. It kind of tickles my history nerve in a sense that I like to see stuff like that. Steve Yzerman on the captains. And this is our first, goodness gracious. So we got, this is the Cougars one. Even though, and here's the thing to remember if you're opening these, the inserts don't seem to have the 1926 number, even though the Cougars version parallel of these are supposed to be numbered to 1926. So here's our first, so we had our first autograph. Stu Grimson, 95-96. Probably not one of the best ones. Looks like he only played for the Red Wings for a year, but here we are. We have an autograph. And his autograph is shaky at best. Probably one too many pucks to the head when he signed this. Then we have Nadam Niedemansky and Keith Premayu. We'll go ahead and sleeve this up anyway. This will probably fit in the category of one of these things I'd keep just because there's no real nobody really searching for this auto, but at the same time, I like autos and I like to keep the majority. The majority of these, I know, just for a quick pause, like a majority of these cards, and I've said it before in other videos of mine, you pretty much are going to see most of the cards that I pull on this channel on my store on Bad Habits sports cards in eBay. These cards, I don't tend to put a lot of them on. If there is one that is fantastically valuable, I sell it, like I said, just to keep me in the business. For the most part, these I like to keep just for the historical value of them, and any doubles I have, like I said, I have really close friends that have them and don't normally buy tins or boxes of cards, so I like to give them to them. You might see some, if there's a big banger in here, I might go ahead and pull that out and sell it, but other than that, most of these you're not probably going to see. All right, let's see. Elmer Soderblom, Bob Probert, Glenn Hall on the Hall of Fame, inducted in 1975. Steve Yzerman is a team leader. Again, this looks like a big Team Yzerman box. Team leader. And Keith Primo on the Hometown Heroes. And we have a Cougar retired numbers. Oh, and here's back behind here. See, now I can recognize these. So we have Citadel for retired numbers, and this is another autograph, Octopus Ink, in tribute to, I guess, an old mascot of Octopus. This is Gustav Nyquist. That's a pretty clean autograph right there. They're all on card, from what I understand. They do have some cut ones. Mainly, if you don't know the hobby in general, if they're a cut, it just means that they've cut them off of a paper that they've signed before. Typically, that means that that person has passed on long before they made these cards to get them autographed. Although, oddly enough, apparently there is at least one autograph in here that's cut, even though the person is still alive. So I'm not sure what the story is behind that, but it does happen. And Philip Roenick. Let me go ahead and sleeve up the Octopus Ink autos. We love autos around here. We love our autos. All right, Tarasenko, Ulf Samuelsson. This is how he got his name. It looks like he got hit once and was like, oof! And they were just like, yeah, we'll call him Ulf. That's a bad joke that I like to tell. Gordie Howe on the trophy winners, winning the Hart Trophy in 1963. We have Daryl Sittler, Hall of Fame, inducted in 1989. And another insert that I don't think we've seen yet, everybody from the 313, which I'm going to go ahead and assume is a area code for Detroit. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that. Dan Cleary, I think that's our first from the 313. And Frank, oh my God, I'm going to butcher this guy too, Mahavlik on the Cougar variation. Again, Cougar, one of 1926. Because this is a base, they actually put 1926 on there. The autographs or inserts, they don't for some reason. They like to make you guess. Brad Park, Ullman, and Cam Talbot. We love our goalies. I hope you're having as much fun watching these as I do. I may actually just play this through since it's kind of short, but at the same time, these are really fun to watch. Just, you know, little bits of history. It's one of those few boxes that you get where even the base cards are kind of interesting, especially because I would assume for big Red Wings fans, there's people in here they may have forgot that they've seen on TV or watched before, or just names that they've heard. So even the base cards seem fairly important. I'd like to keep rolling and show these for the big Ultra fans that might be on here. Patrick Kane, currently playing for the Red Wings, Tiger Williams, and Ted Lindsay on the captains. Chris Draper with the trophy winners, Selk Trophy in 2004. And we have Believing in South Detroit, Kirk Maltby. Frank Mahavlich in Hall of Fame inductee, 1981 on the Cougar parallel. And then we have Andrew Kopp and Jimmy Carson. Not to be confused with Johnny Carson. Rogie Vachon, Lucas Raymond, And Adam Oates on the Hall of Fame, inducted in 2012. Look at that jawline. Henrik Zetterberg, the Conn Smythe Trophy in 2008. The Chris Chelios on the Hometown Heroes. Trophies here. Hockeytown Heroes, I mean. And Bernie Federko on the Cougar parallel for the base. I also will say you can get surprised and get a third autograph in here. So we found 2 already. We have a whole nother stack going. So we got the 2 autographs early. So there's a good chance that Larry Murphy. There's a good chance. And here's Dominic Hasek. Love the Dominator. So we could get a third one. I've opened a box before where I've seen 3 and a mem. So we're still due a mem card in here at some point, I'm pretty sure, but there's always a possibility of a third autograph. I have seen that. Nephew Tyler Bertuzzi, Kelly Casillo, Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey with the Art Ross Trophy in 1963, Hall of Fame Terry Sawchuk, Drew Miller for the Hometown Heroes, and Nicholas Kronwall with the Cougar parallel. And we have Stemkowski, Andy Bathgate, and Ed Jacomin. Tell me you're a Kiss fan without telling me you're a Kiss fan. Right there. Dino Carcerelli, Chris Draper, Bori Salming, and we have our trophy winner, Henrik Zetterberg, King Clancy Trophy from 2015. We have our Hall of Fame, Luke Robitaille. I know I've heard Luke Robitaille. Got a little bit. Chris Osgood on the Everybody from 313. And Paul Coffey on the Hall of Fame, inducted in 2004. Dennis Hextall and Brad May. Just a side note, I've had some comments before where some of the slower openings that I do kind of get a little long and boring, and I get that. It's not for everybody. Like I said, for this one, I may keep this long and boring just because I know there, like I said, for the Red Wings fans out there, there's probably base card names that are really interesting in here. So please, if you're not a big interest in this, you can fast forward through this. Nobody will tell. You can just skip to the good hits. I tend to slow down for the good hits anyway, so you can see them. And then, move on to whatever player profile is going on today and laugh your butt off at somebody I make fun of. All right, Mikhail Samuelsson, Jimmy Howard, Paul Datsyuk on the trophy winners, Lady Bing Trophy. Here we have another Hall of Fame, Nicholas Lindstrom, Hall of Fame inductee in 2013, and our Believin' In Darren Helm. Here we have Vaclav Nedomansky on the Cougar parallel, Slava Kovala, Justin Abel Cater, Brett Hull, 2001 to 2004. All right, Luke Robitaille, Sebastian Cosa currently playing, Steve Yzerman for the trophy winners, Masterton Trophy in 2003. We have Nicholas Lindstrom on the team leaders, Smash Hits, Joe Kukur. This guy looks mean. He just looks like a mean dude. Look at that face. Smash Hits. It's our second Smash Hits. Hall of Famer Bernie Federko, inducted in 2002. Oh, and we got a red parallel Smash Hits. So let's do Drew Miller. We got Jonathan Berggren. And our parallel red Smash Hits. Ooh, he's an old head. He is Ted Lindsay on the black and white. Chris Chelios, Marcel Dion, and Dennis Hextall on the captains. Hall of Famer Borgie Samming, and Hockey Hometown Heroes, or Hockey Heroes, Hometown Heroes, Hockeytown Heroes, Chris Draper. I'll get it right eventually. Maybe not. Martine Lapointe, Wendell Clark, Ted Lindsay, and Rick Zombro. Zombro is another term for a zombie who goes to the gym a lot. Little known factoid there for you. Gerard Gallant, John Ogrodnik. Team leaders, Ray Shepard, captains Danny Gare, and Hockeytown Heroes. See, I told you I'd get it right eventually. Scotty Bowman and Keith Premiu for our Cougars parallel. We have Johnny Busick Busick, that's what it is. I knew I'd get it right. There you go, Busick. On the parallel, we have, on the Mahovich and Federico. Daryl Sittler, Dandenalt. We have our trophy winner, Scotty Bowman, for the Jack Adams Award. That's given to coaches, so this guy is coaching us. Gordie Howe on the Hall of Fame back in 1972. Everybody from the 313, JT Comfer. And Nicholas Lindstrom on the trophy winners. We have a Smash Hits autograph, Martine Lapointe. I like that. See, I told you, sometimes you get a third autograph. Smash Hits autographs, I think, are fairly few and far between, which is great. Curtis Joseph and Nicholas Cronwall. So there we go. Martine Lapointe on the Smash Hits. That's a way. That's how you end a tin right there. And that is a really nice autograph too. I like it if it's a little more artier or looks like they gave it a try. There's some. I don't know if it's an old school thing or a new school thing, but the younger guys, those autographs need work. They need to work on those autographs for sure. So there you have it, folks. There's the Centennial tin for the Detroit Red Wings. I had a lot of fun with these. To be honest, I may buy some more and open some more for you just to see what else we get. The biggest thing I like about them is for the price point. Getting 2-3 autographs and a mem, just about guaranteed, is really a really good bonus for the price point. They're a lot of fun, even if you're not a big fan. Like I said, I like history as well, so having pieces of history like autographed old heads, Hall of Famers, stuff like that are really fun. Some old black and white photos in here that are really cool to have. I keep all of it for the most part and just have a ton of fun with them. So on to the next segment. Thanks for sticking with me for this, and we'll see you next time.
Player profile.
This player profile is going to be Brad Marchand. He got his start out on the Boston Bruins, and now he plays for the Florida Panthers. So let's talk a little bit about Brad Marchand. But first, I know what everybody's thinking. His nickname is the Rat. Everybody likes to throw the rat, throw little rats on the ice whenever he's out there playing. And you're probably thinking right now, oh, he's gonna make a bunch of rat, mouse, like cheese jokes. It's just all gonna be about that. No, we are better than that. We are not going to do that. That is just cheap, low-hanging fruit. So anyway, here's the only card I could find of him. Brad Marchand is currently out day-to-day with a various number of injuries, to include bruised ego and sandy vagina. He has the distinction of being the most suspended player in the NHL. I was looking up fun little fact about Brad Marchand. In 2018, he notoriously would lick the person he was next to on face-offs. It did it so much that the NHL had to warn him to stop licking people. I mean, it says a lot about your home life when you gotta go to work to find somebody to be happy your DNA is on. Brad Marchand is the only player who can make a 6'4" defenseman look like the victim of a lifetime. When most players end their career, they have a highlight reel. Brad Marchand, on the other hand, has what they call evidence. I saw a game with Brad one time where he took the helmet off of the guy and went to the penalty box. Gets in there and starts removing the straps and all the stuff inside the helmet. I mean, for real, it's not like players go around pulling the socks out of his jock. Brad Marchand was a food, he'd be a raisin. Small, annoying, and always turns up in places you don't want. If you had $1 for every dirty hit Brad Marchand laid on somebody, you still couldn't come up with enough money for his wife to sleep with. That is Brad Marchand, and sometimes he plays hockey. There you have it, folks. That's the show. We started off by coming at Upper Deck about their big miss on the rookie redemptions. We also opened a Centennial box for the Detroit Red Wings, beating out copyright by singing Don't Stop Believing on My Own. Journey, if you're out there, call me. And then we chirped at Brad Marchand for a little while, and frankly, that just felt cathartic. So for all you guys and gals out there that stuck with me, don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.